Hey guys, Jaybird here, and today we're going to be doing another tutorial. This one's actually in really high demand, and it's going to be covering doors and debris. So the very first thing that we're going to go over is I'm just going to show you an example of the three different types of doors that I'm going to go over in this tutorial, and then right after that we're going to jump into the Radiant and set them up. So we're going to start off with zombie doors. So these are going to be doors that just swing open or move out of the way. So pretty basic, and we'll go over the different settings you can do with those. Then we're going to go into debris, which will be basically piles of debris that kind of move out of the way. And the last one I'm going to go over is how to do a power door, so a door that opens with power. Alright guys, let's get in it. Okay, so this is just a little example of the three different types of doors that we're going to be able to create. So we're going to have an electric door, a normal door, and debris. So I'm going to start off with just the normal door here. So you can have them move in different ways as well. So the first one, the normal door, is going to rotate. So when I open it, it rotates open. The second one is going to be a debris, which is the other basic type of door, which will fly up through to the sky and kind of disappear. So when I go to open this, give me a second, get some more points. It goes flying up and then just disappears. The last one is a power door. So if we go and just hit the power switch, and you notice the power handle is actually on there now, you can see we have like a door that just slides up. Alright, so let's jump into the actual Radiant side of things here. Alright guys, so we're in Radiant now, and so this is kind of the little area I was showing off in game. So if I just go to game view, you can see we have the garage door, the swinging doors, and the debris. So I'm just going to kind of go off to the side here and show you what I did to make those. So we'll just kind of come over here, and so the very first thing I'm going to do is just start off with a basic door. So this is going to start off with a swinging door. You can do a moving door. We'll do the moving door with the power door, but I'll show you the move thing can be set up separately to the actual normal door if you want to do that. So what we're going to do is just do, why don't we grab our door model here. So I'm just going to kind of, why don't we go into in-game view. That doesn't hide it. I was kind of hoping that it wouldn't allow me to select that. So I'm going to select the door here. I'm going to click N to bring up the entity window, and I'm going to just copy the model because I don't want to have to find this model again. It took me a little bit to find it the first time. So I'm going to go over to Model tab. I press M if you don't have that open. So I'm going to just kind of go over here. Some people have been wondering why they don't have certain models that I've been using. There is a giant download, a 50 gigabyte download you can do. It's an additional download onto the mod tools. I'll do a separate video. I'm actually probably going to link it because I'll probably end up doing that video first. But yeah, there's a big download, and I'll show you guys how to get that if you want the extra 50 gigs of assets. So that's all models and textures basically. So there we go, we got some doors. So what I'm going to first do is just kind of set up the three entities that we need. So we got the doors, so I'm going to consider that one entity even though there's two things. So we got the door. I'm going to do what's called a clip. So clips are used to block players. So models players can walk through. So I'm going to do a clip so a player can't walk through this. And then the third thing I'm going to do is going to be a trigger. So the trigger is going to be what notifies, like it'll basically, when the player goes up to the door, it'll read press and hold F to purchase door or whatever. So you want to make a brush, and that's what the player has to aim at to be able to interact with the door. So what we're going to do is go to the entity browser with our brush selected. So this is the trigger brush, remember, and I'm going to come down to trigger, and I'm going to do trigger use. So I'm going to just double click on that, and it'll convert it into a trigger use brush. If that doesn't work for you for some odd reason, I've noticed it glitching out, what you can do is just deselect and just drag the use brush onto here and make it to whatever shape you want. So we'll do that, and then so that's our trigger. The clip, we're going to have to the clip and models we're going to have to convert into script versions of themselves. So I'm going to select the clip, I'm going to come over to script, and then double click on brush model. So that's going to convert the brush into a script brush model. So I'm going to hide that, and we're going to do the same thing with the door. So I'm going to convert it to a script model. So, and I'll do that to the other one as well. So this will allow the script to be able to interact with the clip and the two doors, because there's a script that's going to be calling this stuff. We don't need to deal with anything script related. Treyarch's already provided us with that stuff, so no worries there. So we're going to go back to our trigger. We're going to start off with that. We're going to click N to bring up the entity window. We're going to go to the target name. So come all the way down to the target name. So this is what the trigger is called. So we're going to call it zombie door. It has to be called zombie door, and it has to be spelled exactly like this: zombie_door. The script is looking for this this name here, so we have to call it that. We can add in a couple KVPs here. So a KVP is basically a value that we can kind of add on here. This is a KVP. These are all KVPs in here. They're keys and value properties. So the key right here is going to be everything on the left here. The value is going to be on the right here. So what we'll do is we're going to do zombie cost. Make sure you spell it exactly the same, zombie_cost, and you can put whatever value you want in here for your door. So I'm going to do 750. At default, that's going to be 1000. So if you leave it blank, it'll just default to 1000. The other thing we're going to want to do is add a target for it. So we're going to do target, and then I'm going to call the door, this particular door, we'll call this test door. So you can see it's trying to find an object called test door, but I can't find it, so it's just kind of spazzing out like that. But we're going to call this stuff test door. So I'm going to come down to the target name, and I'm going to call it test door, like we could call it, and you can see it stopped spazzing out. It found the door. So this is the clip that I have selected. So now another thing we're going to want to do is we're going to want to tell the game that this is a clip. So we're going to do that by doing script_noteworthy. Make sure to spell it completely the same that I have here, script_noteworthy. And then we're going to do clip. You can add that, and you're done with this. Pretty simple so far. If you just follow in and keep adding the things that I add, it should be okay. The reason why it's spazzing out again is because I just hid it. So it's actually just hidden right now, not deleted. So we're going to select one of the doors and do the same thing. Target name, test door. And the other one we're going to also name test door. So now we're going to want this to rotate. So one of the things we're going to have to add in is script string, script string, there we go, and then rotate. So this will tell the script that we want this entity to rotate. So we're going to do the same to this one. So script string rotate. And then what we're going to do is kind of figure out the angles that we want this to rotate to. So I'm going to select the door and click R to go into rotate mode. And then I'm going to rotate it to about the angles that I want it to go to. So you'll notice if I start off, I'm going to just undo here. I started off with 0, 0, 0, and I'm going to rotate to the angles that I want here. So 240 seems to be about right. So 0, 240, 0. So this is the angles we wanted to have memorized, 0, 240, 0. So I'm going to go back to default. I just undo, Control Z, and I'm going to add a KVP. I'm going to go script, angles, and then I'm going to go 0, 240, 0. So that's 0 space, 240 space, 0. I'm going to add that. So this door's set up. This one, we're going to want to rotate as well. We're going to rotate it to about here, 0, 150, 0. So I'm going to undo, and I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to go add KVP, script, angles, and then I'm going to do 0, 150, 0. So there we go. That is actually all you have to do for this basic door. So this door, when I compile, will rotate open. The only other thing that you can add here is if you were dealing with zones. So say you have your starting zone on this side of the door, and you want your second zone to be on this side of the door, you can add a script flag to kind of notify that that zone is being opened up. We'll go into more detail about zones later, but the KVP that you would add will be script flag, and then whatever you name your flag in the script. So let's say it'd be enter zone 2. So that would be it. For those of you that aren't doing zones at the moment, you can leave that blank. We'll go over that in probably the next tutorial. So we got that door done. So that is a basic rotating door. Let's say you wanted to have a moving door that just moves out of the way. It doesn't rotate, say a garage door, for instance. So what we're going to do is we are going to create a brush. I'm just going to kind of create a brush here. And then I'm going to, just for saving time here, I'm going to hide my triggers and clip texture so I can just middle mouse this. So it'll apply the garage texture to it. I'm going to bring my triggers and clips back. And so what we're going to do is the same thing. So we got our brush here. We're going to want to create another brush for the clip. So we'll do that and call this one, okay, textures clip. If you can't find it, remember, go to all and just search in clip at the top here. It'll be easy to find. And then the third thing we wanted to have was our trigger. So we'll add another brush in front of it. Remember, if you want the door to be opened on both sides, what you can do is copy and paste the trigger to the other side. So that is definitely something you can do. So once you finish the trigger, copy and paste it to the other side if you want it opened on both sides. So with this brush selected, I'm going to get rid of the clip texture because sometimes that messes up the triggers. So I'll go back to the entity browser and go trigger and then use. So it'll convert it into a use trigger. So we got all of our three entities set up again. So we're going to go back to the entity info. I'm going to give this a target name of zombie door, just like before. The only thing different here is I'm actually going to look up really quickly in this blocker script. This is actually where the doors are dealt with. You don't need to really look into this if you don't want to, but this is how I figure out the script noteworthies for stuff like this. Script noteworthy electric door. So that is what we want to call this one, because we're going to be doing a power door here. So we're going to do add kvp, script noteworthy, and we're going to call it electric door. So there we go. This door will now be opened by power. So we're going to do the same thing as before for the clip. We're going to select the clip, make sure I got the clip selected, not the door. I'm going to go to, oh, we have to convert this one over still. So remember, we want to go script, brush model, so it's converted over now. We're going to go to entity info, we're going to go back down to the target name and call it, we're going to call this one test garage door. And I actually forgot on the trigger to tell it to target the garage door. So we'll go target and then test garage door. So now it should have a blue line going there. So that's what happened with this one. You can see the blue line going to the brushes and the red lines going to the models. So that's how you know it's actually targeting it properly, the blue line there. So then we also want to add in script noteworthy and then clip, just like before. So we can hide this stuff now, and we're going to do the garage door. If you want to fix the textures on this thing, you can always rotate that, preference stuff. But yeah, so we'll go to the entity browser and convert this one into a brush model. So we're not using models for this one, we're actually using a brush model. So then what we'll do is we'll go back to the entity info and set it up just like before. So this was test garage door. And so this one, we don't want to add script string rotate. We're going to go script string move. So this one I'm going to want, it's a garage door, so I'm going to want it to come up like that. So we have script string move, and then we're going to go, instead of script angles, we're going to go script vector. So, I didn't put a value in there. So what I can do is just kind of click here and add it myself. So let's see, how far up do I want it to go? I want it to kind of go past this area right here, so I'll kind of go somewhere around there. If you look at the bottom of the screen, I'll point it out in a second, 115. So you'll notice right here, I'm just kind of looking where the value went up to. So when I went up here, it went up to about 115. So that was right here. So I'm going to want to go script vector 0, 0, 115, because that's the z-axis. So we want to go, we don't want it to move on the x, we don't want it to move on the y, we just want it to move it up. So 0, 0, 115, which is kind of funny, 115, zombies. Okay, so now we got our trigger targeting the door and the script, or the clip, and we have it set to a power door. So that will now move up and will open with power. You can do the same thing with a normal door. You can have it so that it moves up, but is just a normal door by, instead of doing a script rotate, you do script move with the script vector. So it's completely interchangeable. This is just how is it opened. This one's opened by purchasing it, and this one's going to be opened the moment you come up to the power switch here and you hit the power switch. So the very last type that we're going to go over here is going to be the brushes, or the debris, sorry. So we're going to create a debris. So I'm just going to kind of pick a couple models. I'll just search for a crate. I'll just grab some crates here, drag a couple in, so that should be good. You can pick whatever models you want, really. So I'm going to do the same thing. We got our models here that are going to be blocking the way. I'm going to create a clip that covers the models so you can't go through them. And then the other thing I'm going to do is drag it up high enough that you can't jump over them. And then I'm going to create a trigger just like before. We'll just make sure that goes all the way across here. And then I'm going to convert these over just like before. So we're going to go in, trigger, use, so convert that. We're going to turn this into a script brush model. I'm going to hide this one, and then I'm going to convert these to script models. Script model, script model. There we go. So we're going to unhide the clip. I'm going to select the trigger. We're going to go over to the entity window, click N if you don't have it open anymore. We're going to call this one, instead of zombie door, we're going to call it zombie debris. So zombie underscore debris. Same idea, we can do a new KVP and go zombie cost, and say I wanted this one to be $12.50. So notice how the power door didn't have a cost because it's just open with power. So we're going to go zombie cost $12.50, and we're going to make it target. Let's call this test debris. Remember, you can name this whatever you want so long as this target is the same as the target names of whatever it's targeting. So we're going to go over to here, and we're going to give it a target name of test debris. So then now it's targeting it. You can see the blue line there. We're going to also want to do the same thing as the doors script, noteworthy, and then we're going to do clip. So that way that it knows that this is a clip. So the trigger set up, the clip is set up. We're going to just do the models next. So here's the kind of new thing with debris. It's not new in the sense of Black Ops 3. It's been the same thing in World at War, but it's new in the sense of it's different from these two. So we're going to do a new entity. What you can do is from the entity browser, script struct. So we're going to drag one of these on, and you can kind of put it wherever, but wherever the struct is going to be is where the models are going to fly off to. So I'm going to just kind of throw it up into the air. So it's way up there. And what I'm going to do is go over to the entity info, click N if you don't have it open. So for the target name, you can name it whatever. Let's say test struct. And then I'm going to go to the models, and we still got to give them target names. It was test debris, and then we also want to do a target, and it was test struct. So you know you'll have it right if you got a red line going to the struct. For those of you from World of War, you can still do the link to method and link name method. That still works, but I figured this is easier to explain, the target and target name. So we're going to go with that. The second thing is going to be this one. We're going to go to target name. We're going to go test debris, and then a script noteworthy. Oh wait, not script noteworthy. Script target. Target struct, script struct, or test struct. I'm forgetting where I am now. Test struct. So there we go. We got these two targeting the struct. So now we have our trigger done, our clips done, the models done. So there we go. That is 3 different types of doors, guys. We have the normal door, which can rotate. You can interchange it with moving. We also have a power door, which is set to moving. You could also do it rotating if you wanted to. Just change out script string to move or to rotate, and script vector and script angles, depending on which one you're doing. And then for debris, we have the models targeting the struct that you want it to go to. Alright guys, that's going to be it for this tutorial. I hope it helped out, and don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Alright guys, see ya.